Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to part 9 of the X-Wing fighter build. Today is going to be about wiring things up and getting it all prepped for assembly. Please forgive some clips in this video because I had an SD card going bad, so I lost pretty much the end part where we're actually soldering all the wires just together into the wires that are going to go down into the base. So yeah, I just had a bad SD card, so I had to get a new one, and got a couple backups, so I have them on hand when that happens again. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and so let's go take a look.
Well, okay. Here we are, we got the cockpit together. Got the guy all painted up. Excuse me. Got the guy all painted up. Did the orange jumpsuit. He's not quite even close to being accurate, but hey, it is what it is. Old kit, so we do what we best we can. Okay, let's get some of that tube glue. We need a good strong bond. Super glue won't do it, it'll break right off. I do have the thicker glue, but nothing's gonna beat this. Get it there. Just the downfall of this glue is it's very slow and it's very stringy, but you can get by the stringiness. But anyway, while we're waiting for this to dry, there's really not much I can do to this because I gotta get it closed up so we can get all these I think that's going to be the best way, is to get all this together and get it in there and then paint the whole thing white. I got everything off. All this black is for pre-shading. And I did that off grade to do in these holes just to make those shading look a little different than where the engines are. Got all the wires there, so we're good that way. So the only thing we'll have to do is close this up. We'll have to attach the wires. I have to figure out where we're coming in the bottom. Because I think, still going with the original stand. We're waiting on this guy, but then we can tie all the power together. This is going to just be a small SMD. I'll either glue a piece here to get it to shine right at the dials. And then the wire should sneak back here. And then all these are going to end up somewhere like that. So they'll all meet right here. And then come out the bottom. So that's perfect. Okay. Here we are. I just kind of got her temporarily just sticking together, but we're ready to glue her together. Cockpit guy is in there. Got the wires going back, but we're gonna have to solder these wires first and make sure we got everything. Yeah, it's just for the cockpit and this. So I want to do one more test to make sure. I got to get a resistor on that one too. Blah blah blah. Where's the little 3-volt? And I want to make this not so bright, so it's not. I need to go in the snow speeder and do the same thing. I don't want them so bright that they're like floodlights. This one's not too bad. Let me turn this light out quick. This one's actually not too bad. I might leave that alone. That works for me. There's no light bleeds. We'll have to make sure the seam is sealed good, but they're not. Make sure underneath too. Nope. So I think I have a little bit with maybe the engines. Well, no, I haven't done those, but I gotta make sure I get those nice and black. Look. So that'll work. That'll work. Okay. Yeah, because one thing I gotta be careful is I didn't get in there and paint black in there because the engine's gonna. But I did paint this outside really black, so I hope that helps. You know, I could always paint some of the light black to the bulb before I stick it in, and maybe that's what I'll do. So we're good now. All right, got the iron warming up. Get some solder out. And I also got to figure out the wiring coming off the stand too. The main wiring is going to be right with these two, and we got to get a. Might even quickly stick some more tulip in there once we put it together, so when it sits together, like blocks those edges, because it worked really good in doing the tulip around this. This is still springy. Don't know how exactly it's gonna close itself, so it's like I didn't want to glue it completely up. I mean, there's really nothing back here but these sides to really glue it to. Okay, so we gotta strip these, and then we gotta hopefully figure out how these are all gonna go through here without getting in the way. This is already together. That was simple. Just run a. They have a pin that you glue together, and you just run it through. So we're leaving these out for painting purposes. So we got to strip all those. Get a resistor on this one, and let's get the resistor on this, and then just gonna have wires come up through here. First, we get our resistors. Where are they? Run with a 360. These are 330s and those are 330s. It should. Keep that for the negative. Get this in this position. Make it easier. Away. Resistor. This seems to help. Give it a good tug, and I'm going to run a shrink tube over the whole thing. So I like that. Moisture. Give. These wires are so tiny that it's so much easier to give, like, even a negative a little something. So I solder them onto one of those little wires that get cut off the ends of the resistors. And I hit that with a little shrink tube, and it's good to go. But yeah, that makes it so much easier to, because they're so hard to strip. Even with my, self-sizing strippers, it still doesn't want to grab them right. I don't need this out anymore. But I went with a higher resistor value than normally I would need for 9 volts to see if I can dim it a little bit without getting so low that it doesn't even fire the LED. So, I guess it would be to strip these. Let's get my pliers out. Sorry, I'm usually a little more organized on what I need out. Okay. I should get the shrink tube out too, but what's first? Now let's make sure this wing is together. That will close. Everything closes. Those back pieces that we glued on close and fit nice. Everything looks great, to be honest. It should have notches for different wing positions. There it is. There's for the open. It's a little flubby of a notch, but that'll be fine once the body's in here too. I hope it's stable. So cool. There's another one, and so cool. So that's all working. So we just got to go in here and strip all these, and they got to come this way. It seems like there's going to be plenty of room in here, so we shall see. I hope so. I don't think I need to strip a whole lot because they're all just going to get, like I said, with this thin double wire, it's easier just to leave them together. It strips them really nice. And then what I usually do, cut so they'll pull apart because they don't want to pull apart very well. But make sure I have plenty sticking out here to do. I would like to do a bulb test. Maybe I'll take one bulb and run it across all of them. That would probably be smart. Before I close this all up, because I don't want to solder the bulbs on there. Everything's ready besides pulling those apart. We need to really get our length on what we're going to need for this. So it's going to need to be at least that. And then we're going to need some in the base. We're not doing a switch on, I think, on this one. It's such a tiny base, and just like with the snow speeder, just they come on when I hit the main switch on. So I'm gonna say plenty of it. So I'm gonna say that's good length there. Always good to have more than you really think, but that's more than enough. That's more than enough in the actual model, and that's plenty out that way. So. I tighten this coil up before it gets too springy. But I need to find one of those holes to stick it up through. It's always way far away, so you're gonna have this long tail. But you can just wrap it back in there. Alright. I love this stuff because it just, where you need a reliable piece of wire and really thin, because you're not dealing with a coated insulation. Like this wire is thin, but look how much adds on just from the insulation, the coating. Yeah. Where here you got really thin wire. It's durable. That one went underneath the other. It's durable. And you don't have to worry about stripping it. You just, during soldering, it melts that coating away. There we go. So now we have our two base leads. So I like to but one thing I can't, because you have to get this end so hot, it's not very good for soldering onto LED tape. Because LED tape doesn't like a lot of heat. It wants a quick touchdown and go. Now there's one thing too, and Boyd I think touched on it in one episode on his channel on Trekworks. You do want your iron hot, because the hotter it is, the less time you're going to be like on a circuit board or something like that. So same thing with LED tape. Some people, you don't want to turn it down, so you have to stay there for a long time, because then the heat can actually transmit through and start melting things. If it's real hot and you get to the point, it's boom, done. So it's actually better when it's a little more on the hot side than cool side. But with these, it really has to be on the hot side. And it does take a minute for it to melt this. In that time, and you're on LED tape, it's melting it. It's done. So this is mainly for wire to wire. It's also nice because it gives these braided wires something to grab onto, when you solder them together. Or onto, normal LED bulbs like this that have that, metal ends on it. It's great for all that stuff. It is nice. So this we can use for a little black one. I don't need a lot. So just help it. That wire to metal connection. I'm getting stressed out. And possibly flexing and coming loose. Because now the shrink tube will give it some strength where it touched where it was soldered on, instead of it being all loose. Alright, I'll go get one over that resistor too. I think green will fit over them. We can even go smaller. Yellow. There's a small yellow. You won't even get away with a red, but I think that's pushing it. Yeah, it could. The red will also give it a color code, so let's see if we can get the slide over. Yeah, look at that. I like that. Like the lighters, it's right in front of my eyes. There we go. Alright. Looks like it's going to be a night of short filming little blocks here. Looks like I got to dump everything that's on that camera card, and reformat it. And hopefully maybe that'll chase that ghost away. Could be little spots on it. Okay. Now the other issue we're gonna have here is cutting these little wires apart. I actually could probably do these. There we go. This is what I mean. You gotta lay them flat. Just got to get them scored. Like, just get them started, and they'll go. Well, destroy them. Usually the best thing to do is stick the blade up inside them and do that, and that moves the wires